So in this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you exactly how to build an audience from scratch, right? The exact frameworks that grow real influence, how to turn attention into impact and income, and how to do it using biblical principles that have worked for thousands of years. If you're serious about building your brand the right way, not just going viral, this is literally for you. So let's get right into it. So why do most people build wrong, right? Why do most people build their brand wrong? Most people say they want to build a brand, but what they really want is validation. They want more followers, more likes, more attention, more recognition. But attention without structure creates anxiety. Influence without character creates pressure. And visibility without systems creates burnout. And that's why so many people start and quit. The problem isn't talent, the problem is motive and structure. So Luke 16 says this, right? Whoever is faithful in the little will be faithful in the much. Your small audience is not insignificant, it's a test. Your 100 followers, a test. Your 300 followers, literally a test. Your small event turnout, it's a test. God doesn't multiply hype, He multiplies what's called stewardship. So if we're going to build the right way, we got a framework. We need to have a framework. So here is the 5-pillar framework for building an audience, right? And this is where the strategy meets the scripture. So pillar number 1 is this, it's clarity. If you confuse people, you lose people. Ask yourself this, who do I serve? What problem do I solve? What transformation do I provide? Myron Golden talks about value clarity. Money flows to value, but value must be clear, right? God is not the author of confusion. If your brand is confusing, it won't convert. Clarity builds audience, confidence builds trust, and trust just builds the audiences. So pillar number 2, the volume of value. So you cannot impact people who cannot find you, right? The great Gary Vee talks about documenting over creating. Stop waiting to be perfect. So you got to start sharing what you're learning, what you're building, what you're testing, what you're failing at. Even right now in this video, right? I'm recording this video. I'm documenting me doing pretty much what people can call a masterclass, right? And giving you my insights, right? I'm just documenting this. I'm not necessarily creating anything. I was already going to do this. Now I have my Osmo here. We're just recording this as we go, and we're recording it, and I'm just gonna put it out there for people to see, right? My knowledge. Matthew 5:16 says this, let your light shine before men. You can't hide and expect impact. If you wanna be seen, you have to put yourself out there. Visibility is not vanity when the motive is service. If I'm coming to you with a service heart, if I'm coming to you with the fact that I want to go in, give you value, right? Give you some inside information that you may not have gotten yet, or give you something that I'm learning, so you could be in a better position because somebody gave me the content, then that's what it's about. Visibility is everything when the motive is the service. Now here's pillar number 3, systems and leverage. This is one of the most important things, right? This is where most people fall off. Because the hustle will build the noise, but the systems will build the wealth. The hustle will get you out and about, people getting to know what you're doing, but honestly, the system is what's gonna build your wealth, right? One of the most important teachings are buying back your time is so important. So here's some of the things that we need, right? You need an email list, you need a content system, you need a funnel, you need a repurposing structure, you need calendar batching, right? Ecclesiastes 10 says this, and I'm sorry to keep putting these biblical principles in here, but I do believe that the Bible is a way that you can live your life by. Whether you believe in Christianity or not, and I do, you can use it as a framework to how to live your life. Right? Ultimately, it's a spiritual guide. So Ecclesiastes 10:10 says, if the axe is dull, more strength is needed. So what does that mean? It simply means that we have to sharpen our systems. We don't just work harder, we work structured. And then we move into pillar number 4, consistency over emotion. I'm recording this video. I really don't feel like recording this video. I am at one of my friends' house, and I'm traveling. I gotta put some content out there, right? And this is where pillar number 4, consistency over emotion, comes into play. And honestly, this is the secret that most people don't want to hear. You would not feel motivated most days, but guess what? I post anyway. You film anyway. You show up anyway. We showing up anyway, right? Galatians 6:9 says this, do not grow weary in doing good, right? If this is something good, something serviceable, something valuable to the people, keep doing it. Keep putting your knowledge and your content out there and give away your best stuff for free, honestly. This is gonna go on YouTube. It's absolutely gonna be free, and people can dissect it however they want to dissect it. is actually literally incredible, honestly, right? So we have to understand that growth compounds quietly. Then all of a sudden, boom, you skyrocket. Most people say that it took an overnight success 10 years because nobody saw the grit and the grind. Everybody saw the immediate metaphoric rise to success. I think that's the right word. And most people honestly just quit before the compounding begins. But you have to keep going. You have to go into the compounding sets into place, right? The eighth wonder of the world is compound interest in every area of your life, right? Pillar number 5 is character. Talent builds platforms. Character is what's going to sustain it. Proverbs 22:1 says this: a good name is better than riches. And that's something I'm continuing to work on. I want to have a good name. I want to be real. I want people to look at me and say, man, that's a real dude, right? And what you don't want to do is you don't want to fake the lifestyle. You don't want to promote what you don't believe in. And you don't want to monetize too early, right? Your reputation outlives the revenue. That's a good one. Your reputation will outlive the revenue that you receive. So now this is the funny section, right? Well, the great section, section number 3. It's how to actually grow. And this is going to be some practical execution points that you guys can all use within the frameworks or whatever you guys have going on. And so now it's time to get tactical. So number 1, you're going to pick one core platform. So what you want to do is you want to stop trying to dominate everywhere, and you want to choose YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or email. Choose one and then have the other ones filter. YouTube brings more what? Authority. Instagram brings more proximity to your people. TikTok will give you more reach, but email will make you more ownership. And the beautiful thing that we have to understand is this: we don't own the social platforms. We only own our list. I don't own Instagram, I don't own YouTube, TikTok, I don't own Substack where I have all my emails, I don't own Snapchat, I don't own LinkedIn. But guess what? I own my list. And so we want to build assets before the algorithm changes. And the beautiful thing I like about this is that I always tell people, listen, you want to get, if you're promoting anything, you want to get people's information off of the platforms, because we don't know when the algorithm will change. We don't know when that person will see that platform again, that video on that specific platform. So we want to have frameworks and systems that's going to collect their name, number, and email to get them into our own ecosystem before we just rely on the platform to have it be shown to them again. It's never going to happen, right? Step 2 is, this is what I call the late framework. So now we can move into step 2. It's learn, it's act, it's teach, and engage. We want to learn something new. Then we want to apply it, have first world experience. Then we want to teach what worked. And then we want to engage our audience in conversation. Teaching builds mastery. I believe that you will get the most profit from your life in every area of life: mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, relationally, financially, and most important, spiritually, when you start to teach, right? As you go up the ladder of your knowledge in whatever area that you're in, expertise, you're going to be able to teach more people, which means you're going to be able to impact more people. It's like a church. A pastor, when he first gets started with his church, he's not teaching a lot of people. He may be teaching a couple of hundred people. But those pastors who end up teaching and having thousands upon thousands of members in their church on any given Sunday, they're impacting more people, right? And as you teach, the better you become at teaching, right? So teaching will build your mastery. And the fastest way to grow is to teach what you're becoming. So now this is the content rotation strategy. And this is what I like to say how you want to rotate how you're putting out your content. So you want to rotate between education, you want to rotate between story, you want to rotate between conviction, you want to rotate between behind the scenes, and you want to rotate between an invitation, right? Trust first, you build trust first, and then you build the offer second. So it goes audience, then it goes trust, then it goes transformation, and then it goes revenue. It does not do this. Audience and then pitch. That's not what we're doing. It's an 80-20 percentage rate. I want to give value 80% of the time. I want to not ask for anything 80% of the time. I want to bring value 80% of the time. And then when the time is right, that 20%, you say, you know what? I'm going to cash in these chips. And for this 20%, I'm going to go all out in pitching what I have to offer. Very simple. So now the next section is this: how to monetize without losing your soul. Because at the end of the day, money is not evil, but manipulation is. And if you read 2 Corinthians 8:21, it says, aim at what is honorable in the sight of God and man. So pretty much what this means is that you want to build trust. And then once you create trust, you can then create offers that genuinely solve problems. And usually when you're creating offers for people out there in the marketplace, it's to what? To build more community, it's to get proximity, or it's to get faster knowledge, faster implementation, right? And people like Myron, he teaches what? Money flows of value. Dan Martell teaches what? Scaling with systems. Gary Vaynerchuk teaches what? Attention is a currency. And I'll tell you this, integrity multiplies the impact. So if your character grows with your platform, you'll sustain it for a long period of time. If not, it will crush you for sure, 100%. The next principle I want to get into is the overarching principle. And here's the big idea. Building an audience is stewardship of influence. You're not building followers, you're building responsibility. Every post, stewardship. Every subscriber, stewardship. Every event, stewardship. If you stay consistent, build systems, lead with character, and serve with clarity, growth just becomes a byproduct. Multiplication will follow your stewardship, just like the parable of the talents. Multiplication will follow stewardship. So if we steward better, the multiplication of whatever we're stewarding is going to apply. Now, the truth of the matter is that you can steward wrong things. So what are we stewarding? How are we stewarding it? When are we stewarding it? Why are we stewarding it? For whom are we stewarding it to? And so just make sure you understand that. And it's kind of where I'll finish, right? If you're serious about building something that lasts, not just a viral moment, not just quick money, but real influence, then commit to stewardship. Start posting consistently. Start building your lists. Start sharpening your systems. And if you want to build inside of the community that actually executes, that doesn't just talk about growth, but builds, then plug into what we're building. Because we're not chasing attention. We're honestly not building anything but building a legacy. And legacy requires discipline. So let's build the right way. So if you go on the link below, if you want to, you can join our community, and then we can just move on from there. So I'm excited about what's going to happen in 2026. My name is Amari, and hopefully you got value from this video. And so subscribe, comment if that's something that you want to do, if you love to do, and we would love to get this video out more. So listen, it's all about building the audience, stewarding the influence, and multiplying the impact.